بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله. Alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Today is going to mark the last lecture in this topic of the diseases of the heart. We've talked about several different diseases of the heart that can destroy us as Muslims if we don't recognize them and do what it takes to rid our hearts of them. The first one was hypocrisy. We also talked about doubt. We also talked about suspicion. We also talked about jealousy, envy. We talked about anger. These are all diseases of the heart that we could really need to work on recognizing that they exist in our hearts and then doing the steps that we talked about to rid ourselves of them. And in order to complete this series, I want to just briefly speak about the different types of hearts that we have. And I'm not going to go over everything that Imam Ibn Qayyim has put here. And Ibn Qayyim was a student his works are here because he was a student of Ibn Taymiyyah. So I'm not going to put everything here, go over everything in his little addition to or add on to the book, but I'm going to cover just a few important things about the heart. First of all, when it comes to the heart, let me scroll down. And by the way, this tells you a little bit about him. You guys can read this. It talks about Ibn Qayyim, his life and all that, and his works. It talks about his death. He died at the age of 60, and how he died and all of that. Okay, but we're going to be focusing in on the different types of heart. And there are 3 different types of hearts. The first type is the correct or the sound heart. The sound heart. And how do we define a sound heart? A sound heart, this is a heart that is truthful and secure. And this is the only type of heart that a person can bring before Allah on the day of judgment that will save you from the hellfire. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning, the day when neither wealth nor sons will be of any use except for he who comes to Allah with a sound and flawless heart. So that's the type of heart that we all should be aspiring to possess. Because if you want to be of the people of the right hand who will have to do no time in hell at all, you have to have a heart that is sound, a heart that is secure, a heart that is truthful. And again, what makes the heart sound in this case, what makes the heart secure is because it is a heart consisting of truth. And this is a heart that is consistent in its truthfulness. Okay, so, a sound heart is a heart that is secured, and a heart that is secured is a heart that is truthful and constantly truthful. It constantly remains upon the truth. And listen to how some of the scholars have defined the truthful heart. They have said the truthful sound heart is one which is secure from every carnal desire that opposes the order and the prohibitions of Allah. It is a heart that is secure from doubt and uncertainty that would obscure or go against Allah's laws. It is a heart that is secure from displaying servitude to any other than Allah. It is a heart that is secure from seeking rulings from anyone other than the prophet. So, as you can see, guys, this is a secure, this is a sound heart. And this is why only those of us possessing these characteristics will be saved on the day of judgment. If you're going around questioning Allah's laws, questioning the Prophet Muhammad's rulings, if you are uncertain about your belief, then you do not have a sound heart. Does everybody understand that? Also, the sound heart is a heart that has fear of Allah. This is also a heart that has hope of Allah's forgiveness. This is also a heart that trusts and relies upon Allah. This is also a heart that has humility before Allah. And this is a heart that loves the things that Allah loves, and it only hates the things that Allah hates. If you're going around hating things that Allah made lawful, such as polygamy, or the fact that a woman has to cover her body in the public, or the fact that a woman can only have one husband, if you're going around hating the things that Allah made lawful, then I'm sorry, you do not have a sound heart. Okay? Also, the sound heart is a heart that is secure from committing any form of association of partners with Allah. Again, this is a heart that is directed only to Allah. Its desires, its love, trust, reliance, and fear is only for Allah. So again, we need to check ourselves. And we need to be real with ourselves. Ask ourselves, do we have this type of heart? Is our heart truly sound? Is our heart truly secure? If it is not, then we need to work on making it become that way, guys. Because if we cannot make our hearts become that way, then you can forget about being of the right hand on the day of judgment. And again, it's very important that we understand that the sound heart makes only the Prophet Muhammad the judge in your disputes. Let me give an example. If you guys can look on Facebook, I posted up on Facebook the answer to a question that an imam sent me. One of the imams from Atlanta, Georgia, sent me an email asking me to answer the question for his community about whether or not men can wear braids, whether or not men can have long hair, and whether or not dreadlocks are lawful. I answered this question based on what Allah and the Prophet said. The Prophet had long hair, the Prophet wore braids, so that part was easy. The hard part was the dreadlocks, because unfortunately a lot of African American Muslims are comfortable with dreadlocks because for them it's an easy way out. And that should tell you right there, if something is easy, then that means it's got to be more to it. It's an easy way out of keeping their hair together. You know, Islam is all about cleanliness. Islam is all about beauty and looking nice and having a good appearance. So when I answered that question, as you guys see, I answered it based on what the Prophet said. The Prophet said whoever has hair should take care of it. The Prophet said Allah cares about your appearance. The Prophet said do not go around looking like a jinn with your hair all over your head. The Prophet said if you got hair, you should comb it, wash it, and condition it on a regular basis. Subhanallah. So again, for the person who has the sound heart, they will take what the Prophet said to heart, and they will cut those dreadlocks off, and they will comb their hair on every day and keep it oiled and keep it groomed and keep it clean, even if it's a hardship for them, even if it's hard for them. But if that person does not have a sound heart, they're going to question what the Prophet said. They're going to question what he said, and they're going to reject it. So again, a sound heart is a heart that makes the Prophet Muhammad the judge in all their matters. And they accept what he says, even if it goes against their desires. Listen to what what Allah said in the interpretation, the meaning. O you who believe, Do not put yourself forward in the presence of Allah and his messenger. What does that mean? That means do not speak of something until he has spoken of it, and do not act until he has commanded it. Unfortunately, a lot of Muslims today put themselves forward in the presence of Allah and the Prophet all the time by disobeying the Prophet and Allah and doing what their desires tell them to do instead of what their hearts do. So that's the first type of heart, and that's the type of heart that we all need to work on possessing, and that is the sound heart. Sound meaning truthful and secure. And then the second type of heart, this is an easy one. This type of heart is known as the dead heart. The dead heart. The dead heart contains no life. It does not believe in Allah, and it does not worship him. It does not comply to Allah's laws. It does not do the things that Allah loves. Instead, this is the heart of a person who is a slave to his desires. This heart gives in to the carnal desires, the temptations, and the pleasures of the life of this world. This is the heart belonging to a kafir. And hopefully none of you here in this website have this type of heart. This is the heart that worships its own desires. It directs its love towards its desires, whatever makes it feel good. So it feels good to have fornicate, so it fornicates. It feels good to get drunk and get high, so it gets high and it gets drunk. It feels good to rob and steal, so it robs and steals. It feels good to lie and cheat, so it lies and cheats. For this type of heart, their base desires are its leader, and its carnal desires are its commanders. These are people who give in. Look at how they look. They walk around looking with no clothes on, naked, half dressed, giving into their carnal desires. Okay, so again, you don't want to have a heart like this. This is the heart belonging to an unbeliever. Okay, so you don't want to be with a person like that, nor do you want to be a person who has a dead heart. And then that brings us to the third type of heart. And this is the type of heart that we've been speaking about for the past few weeks. The diseased heart. The diseased heart. The diseased heart, this is the heart that does contain life, but it also possesses defects. In other words, this is a heart that belongs to a person who believes in Allah, but he has problems. He has problems. This is the heart of a person that suffers with doubt. I believe in Allah, but I got a lot of questions about a lot of things. This is a heart that contains love for Allah. This is a heart that does have trust in Allah. But again, he has questions about things, or he has suspicions, or he can't control his envy, his anger. Sometimes this type of heart gives in to its carnal desires, and sometimes it doesn't. So that's what makes it diseased. Does everybody understand that? This is a heart that is constantly being tried by two callers. One calls it to Allah and the Prophet and the hereafter, and the other calls it to worldly matters. That's why sometimes, he believes in Allah, but sometimes his desires win him out over him. Okay, so, and unfortunately, this is a type of heart that most of us have. Most of us as Muslims are suffering with a diseased heart of some kind. And this is our struggle. We're struggling to try to conform our diseased heart into a heart that is sound. This is the heart that most of us have, and we are working hard to get rid of the diseases and make our hearts sound. Okay? Listen to what Allah says in the Quran about these three hearts. These three hearts, Ibn Qayyim didn't just make them up. Okay, Allah mentions these three hearts in the Quran. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation, the meaning. Never did we send a messenger or a prophet before you without Shaitan insinuating something into his recitation while he was reciting. But Allah revokes whatever Shaitan insinuates, and Allah confirms his signs. Allah is all-knowing and wise, that he may make what Shaitan insinuates a trial for those in whose heart is a disease and whose hearts are hardened. Indeed, the wrongdoers are entrenched in hostility, and that those who have been given knowledge may know that the Quran is the truth from your Lord, that they may believe therein and their hearts may submit to it with humility. So here you can see Allah is mentioning all three hearts: the diseased heart, the hardened heart, which is the dead heart, and then the sound heart, the heart that is in submission. So Ibn Qayyim didn't just make these hearts up. Allah mentions these hearts in the Quran. So again, many of us are suffering with some type of a diseased heart. But the key is, can you overcome that disease that's in your heart before Allah takes your soul? That's the question. That's the question. Can you make your heart conform and become secure and sound before Allah takes your soul? That's the question. So thus, guys, this completes our series on the diseases of the heart. And I truly hope that you guys have benefited from this. Again, none of us are perfect. That's why Islam is more than just a religion, but a way of life. The Prophet went into details teaching us about the human soul, and the human heart, letting us know what defects to look for, what to do to cure ourselves of them. If you notice that you have hypocrisy or doubt or suspicion or any of these diseases in your heart, again, make dua, asking Allah to remove them from you. And also remember, the Quran is a cure for those of us who believe. When you read the Quran, ponder what Allah is saying and then apply it to yourself, because the Quran becomes a great medicine for a diseased heart. And on that note, we'll stop right here for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys a final exam on this, and then we'll begin a whole new topic.
وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله